is Charles Stewart.
And the Reverend Dr. Anthony Williams.
We are Church Without Walls.
And we are here today to give you information that you don't normally get at church.
We come your way every Monday morning, 11 to 12.
Call in with your comment or your questions. We'll be glad to try and answer them for you. If we don't have the answer today, we will get it to you on a message.
Don't you dare miss it.
This is Congressman Cedric Richmond, and you're watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, this is Stan Schofield, and I'm inviting all of my KWK family and my family to watch Church Without Walls, 11 o'clock on Mondays, for the greatest and latest show around. Thank you.
I'm Cynthia Lee Shang, and you're watching Church Without Walls on New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe LaPinto, and you are watching the New Orleans Talk Network.
This program does not reflect the views and opinions of the New Orleans Talk Network. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You are listening and you are watching Church Without Walls in the studios of the New Orleans Talk Network. We're here every Monday morning, 11 to 12, Central Standard Time. We thank you for listening and we thank you for watching. We hope that you have had a great week. And we pray to God that some of the things that you wanted to happen in your life, that it came to pass. We know that everything that you want is not going to happen, but as long as you get some of them, it was a great thing. But again, we thank you for listening and we thank you for watching. And we want you to know that Church Without Walls, we love everybody. We're here every Monday morning, 11 to 12. The show was designed with you in mind to inform our community, the thing that people know, and many of our listening audience are people that we call them church people that attend various. We come from all walks of life, all denominations, but it's only one God. We believe in God. So the people of God, we have our own opinion. And the government and what happening in this country and in our community, it affects our life. So we have to discuss and talk. And that's what this show does every Monday morning. And we can't promise you that we can answer every question that you may have, but we can promise you that if we don't know the answer, we would have it for you the following week. With that, we hope that would be satisfaction to everyone. But again, we are here. We ask that you would tell your friend and ask them to download the app www. New Orleans Talk Network. We also on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So not only can you listen to us, but you can view us if you like to. I think that I'm not a handsome guy, but I'm not that bad to look at. So you want to talk to me? You're welcome to. But anyway, we thank God for another beautiful day. It's a beautiful sunshiny day, and we have in the studio again with us. She was with us about 3 weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. And she know no one other than what's that first name again? Sandrea Paolo. She is back here under President Amber, the president of the NWAHCP out in St. John Parish.
Baptist Parish.
St. John the Baptist Parish, and I had the honor and the pleasure to. They had a great banquet Friday night they had on the bad weather made them move it from that Monday to that Friday. But anyway, I was able to view it on Facebook, and it was a great success, and seemed like everyone that I can see on my screen seems like was enjoying herself. And I think this may be her first year of being the president, but you can see she done grabbed the ball and she running, and so we commend her for what she done out there in St. John Parish, and I know her hard work gonna make it a little bit better. That's what it's all about, making the game a little bit better. So we thank God for having her in the studio, and we're gonna be talking today. This is the last month in this is our last show in the month, talking about Black history. We're gonna be talking about a great man, the former state rep, the late great Dr. Avery Alexander. But before we get into that, Ms. Palu, we want to thank you for being here. We want you to have an open statement if you want to elaborate upon your success with your banquet. You can thank your audience, the people that work with you. So again, have it your way, baby.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you once again for this opportunity to address your New Orleans Talk platform. As Mr. Stewart just previously mentioned, on Friday, February 19th, in light of Black History Month, we honored through our NAACP Image Award, which is one of the first of the many image awards that we um, will be hosting annually. We had the opportunity to honor some courageous, strong African American women and men. And what was so impressive was the fact that St. John the Baptist Parish once again set precedence by not only electing one female African American council member, but three women
Okay.
at one time. And I find that to be very, very, very encouraging and motivating. I would like to extend my appreciation to our mistress of ceremony, one of our members, Miss Mary Henry, who is an educator. I would like to also thank our committee, which is our vice president, Dr. Reginald Holmes, our second vice president, Darren Cook, our treasurer, Larry Saraparu, our assistant secretary, David Weatherby, our acting secretary, Michelle Garrison, and our parliamentarian, Latanya Creasy, and also our assistant treasurer, Mr. Pastor Julius Ellis. I would like to thank all the members and all the individuals that came out to support this event. Hopefully, um, once the Lord allow, next year will be even greater and better, but we just felt compelled to give honor where honor was due.
Well, it certainly was a beautiful night. I was doing something, but kind of like Hillary Clinton. I've seen her when she had to go before Congressman, and one of the congressmen asked her, said, you asked her, did she need more time to think through? She said, well, I can do two things at one time, Congress. So when y'all event was going on, I had to do two things at one time. But I was able to look at it a while, and I was doing what I had to do.
In fact, we had
But
over
anyway,
a thousand viewers. So, because of COVID and social distancing, currently the NAACP has 120 members. This month alone, Mr. Stewart, we have already received applications for 20 new additional members.
that's great. And normally, an organization that say like the NAACP, any organization that is fighters, normally you don't have a large a membership. Like mostly the one that I know, some of them got like 3 members, 4 members, 5 members. You lucky if they got, or you can go from all the way down in Chemet, coming all the way back to y'all, most all them organizations. I don't know how many members they would have on paper, but I know you go to their meeting, you may have 5 or 6 people there.
Our meetings actually have over 20 plus. Unfortunately, COVID setback.
Right.
We were blessed with the opportunity to be hosted by the River Parishes Community College, and we would like to extend our great appreciation to the college faculty for allowing us to host our monthly meetings there and our events. And also, want to bring to your attention on March 15th, we have Dr. Umar Johnson coming.
Okay, great.
So I know we have our discussion today on Dr. Avery Alexander, who is a very, very well known advocate, and I just wanted to bring to y'all attention that
And
Dr. Umar
you
is
know,
coming.
I know few people. I know the state president, and I have to know him. Matter of fact, the event that they had for me, he was the keynote speaker
Yes.
at my event, McClanahan.
Yes, he was actually honored
Yeah,
that night as well, and
yeah.
he has actually been He has actually been elected as our national board of directors now. On a
Okay.
national level, which means that
Okay, yeah.
he will represent us well, and hopefully the local chapters will start getting more financial and other types of resources available so that the NAACP can excel even higher than what we
Okay.
are now.
Yeah, thank God, you know, that I'm going to have to give him a call and let him congratulate him. And also raising a home, you know, Pastor out in Kent, I know him. And he a very fine young man.
Yes,
So,
he is. All of our officers and committee chairs, they are wonderful people. Even our members. So I'm very appreciative for them allowing me the honor to serve as their president. It has been really a humbling experience. It's teaching me self discipline, self control, different with different behaviors, how to interact with people with less temperament.
okay. And we're going to have to go, you know, before we started talking about
Dr. Alexander.
Dr. Alexander, we're going to be a few minutes before we have to go to commercial break. And rather to start with him, uh, to the people out in St. John Parish, if you want to appeal to them that want to be part of the group while we're dealing with that,
Yes.
you got a website that you want them to go to, a phone number, those that want to get involved?
Yes, I would encourage our followers to go to the New Orleans Talk. If I'm not mistaken, I shared it on our page, on my page, Chandra Parallel. You should see a link there that says New Orleans Talk. And that way you'll be able to chime in. And also, there's a call-in phone number listed in the comment on this particular Facebook page. So feel welcome to call in into the studio. We'll be happy to interact with you on this platform.
Okay, and if you have a phone, I guess, you know, if you got a phone number or whatever, and there's a lot of people think that it's a big deal. I mean, do the members of the NWPT, do they pay dues if it is?
Yes.
I know it's a small amount.
And yes, I encourage you all, if you have a heart for helping people, join us. Contact me, Chandrell, 504-232-0966. Our membership dues are annually $30. Membership, please, once again, if you're interested in joining the NAACP of St. John the Baptist Parish, contact me at 504-232-0966.
And $30, that's for 1 year,
30-year
right?
annual dues, yes, sir.
And think about it, if something happened to someone in your family, sometimes you may have some kind of small problem, and you know that you can call Miss Paralou, and she would do everything she can to help you. And think about it, you would have to go get a higher lawyer. You're talking about thousands of dollars. So sometimes it's good to be part of something. People always say who got your back. So
And when we fight, we win. Because where
Okay.
there is no justice, there is no peace. And anyone
Yeah.
that know me know I'm a president that is there fighting for the people without any compromisable behavior. I'm for the people, by the people, truly.
So in that, well, y'all know if y'all would like having a question that y'all would like to ask Ms. Bellew, you're welcome to call in at 1-563 999-1808. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back in the studio again. Miss Palu is with us today.
Yeah, we'll be
President
back
of the
Saint
NAACP.
NAACP of St. John the Baptist Parish. So those that's on here live, I need you all to type in the phone number. So if y'all want to call in, we're on a break right now. So if y'all want to call in, we're gonna have a very interesting discussion.
Seems like everyone is running from the truth. You just stand up and fight, walk into the light.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
This is Charles Stewart.
And the Reverend Dr. Anthony Williams.
We are Church Without Walls.
And we are here today to give you information that you don't normally get at church.
We come your way every Monday morning, 11 to 12.
Call in with your comment or your questions, and we'll be glad to try and answer them for you. If we don't have the answer today, we will get it to you on a message.
Don't you dare miss it.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
This program does not reflect the views and opinions of the New Orleans Talk Network. Viewer discretion is advised.
We are back. You are listening and watching Church Without Walls in the studios of the New Orleans Talk Network. We have with us the great president of St. John Baptist Parish. We got the president of the NAACP is sharing with us today, and we hope that anyone out there that like to be a part of it. And I don't think they even have discrimination where you live at the bill. Some people don't like to be a part of organizations saying Jefferson Parish. They might not want to be a part of it. They might like what's going on out in St. John. So you have an opportunity to be wherever you want to be. I just like church. Sometimes some people drive from away from La Place to go to church in New Orleans. And some in New Orleans drive way to La Place. So
Right.
it said, come on, come on. They not turning anybody away. But anyway, today we're going to talk about a great man that I can say that I had the pleasure to know him. The Coalition for Leadership and Development. He was the first award summit program that we had at the Focalium. He was our guest speaker. The former and the late great Avery Alexander. When I say he was a great man, I know a lot of people know Dr. Martin Luther King. He is a national known name, but Avery, you can't count him short. He did this all over the country, but he didn't get the recognition from him. Wherever they had a problem, they called him, and he got his plane ticket and went for the action. He wasn't afraid to go anywhere to fight for people. Many of them know that in New Orleans, he represented them, I want to say, from 1983 up until 1990 as New Orleans state representative. Many know him that he came, he was a longshoreman in New Orleans, and he was in a fight there of being a part of the union in Longshoreman. He fought for those people's rights on the job, so he understood how to fight. And then, you know, when you were a longshoreman, you made a few dollars, so he put his money where his mouth was. So he was able to fight the system when other people was afraid to fight, and he understood how to fight. And that's, you know, like sometimes you want to fight, but God gave him the wisdom and the knowledge in his own way. People knowing him as a slow talker, but he got action. And I would tell our viewing and listening audience, you should Google him and find out more about Avery Alexander. Many know that in New Orleans City Hall, they put him down the stair by his heel.
That's right.
And right now they got a statue of him. I think the statue around about 8 foot tall. You see Avery Alexander. Many schools in the city been named after him. They got street named after him, and I know his granddaughter. And he would tell some people that were around him. He said, "I did all this fighting." He said, "When I'm dead and gone," he said, he wanted that people would remember him. But he got people like Chief Lyria, and she's supposed to have been on the show today, but something came up, and that she had to, I don't know, I know she worked with the state, she worked with the Indian tribe, she on that task force board, so when people call her, she had to take action. So I think that she had to go to Colorado immediately for a national Indian tribe board meet for something happened bad. They got so many racism, so much racism going on, you know, Dr. Perry all over the country, so people fighting and we don't even be aware of, you know, our unsung heroes like Reverend Alexander. He went all over the state of Louisiana, so you can say from Lake Charles all the way down to Chalmette. And he wasn't afraid to go in a place where most people were afraid. He always said, "God is with me, and I'm doing this because this is a mission that God gave him to do." And he was a fighter, and I think more that people find out about him, to learn about him, the more they appreciate him. I know Channel 4, when they named the school after him last week, Channel 4 did a profile on him.
Right.
And did a profile on him, and I think Channel 6 did something too about him. But I think, you know, like he deserved a little more than that, and people that are part of him, you know, that work for him, many people that work for him, they made him a promise that they would not let his legacy go unknown. So far, I think they done did a hell of a job at it. They got the 8-foot statue.
Yeah,
In New Orleans, they got street name after him, so.
And I mean, he was a trailblazer of that time. And in fact, I work closely with one of his very, very close protege, and the same struggle still exists today. People, no matter how they want to pacify the fact that systematic racism and injustices still exist, and it's just different methods are being utilized today to try to camouflage the same things that Dr. Alexander fought for. And as we previously mentioned before, not only do we as a African American community need to be more, more accepted in the social arena, but we must be also economically competitive. And one of the things that Dr. Alexander fought for was economic sustainability within the time of his tenure as being a representative for the people. And it's very important that the people understand that this man was not afraid to make sacrifices. He was not afraid to step up to plate for any challenge. And today we need more bold leaders like Dr. Alexander, who was not afraid to step outside of the box, who was considered loyal, who did not compromise the standards of what he felt that his calling was to be for his people. And I really find that it is very, very, very necessary that we preserve his legacy, and that even our youth understand the impact of our ancestors who fought so hard for us to have these great privileges that we have on today.
And I just got a text from Chief. I think wherever she at, she just text me, and she gonna try to get a call in from a cell number. If we be able to try it once we take a station break, I'm gonna see could we get the producer to call her back.
Yes, and anyone else that would like to call that may have some insight on Dr. Alexander, don't hesitate to call 51563-999-1808. We're talking about a trailblazer, a man that was truly for the people in mind, heart, and spirit, and that's what we need, more leadership that is not afraid to step out the box to fight for what they knew to be what is fair, just, and righteous. And in this time, even in this 21st century, we have a very few of us that are stepping up to the plate, that are embracing our call to the civil rights movement. And just looking at Dr. Alexander is a great, great motivation and inspiration on how yet we have come so far, but yet we still have far to still accomplish.
And you know, some of the things, you know, I guess that I can say that I'm disappointed in the thing that said Dr. King, Malcolm X, all them guys they fought for, and Reverend Avery. We still fighting for those things right now. I mean, it's like, it's mind-boggling to me. The thing that they fought for them days, we still fighting for them same principle and the same opportunity. And I guess when, you see during the Martin Luther King week, they, they be singing, we shall overcome. And we saying, when we going to change that song? When we going to say we overcame?
Right, well, true.
And I pray that God will let me see that, And,
the fight never ends. You know that. There's always something. Every day brings a new situation. We must understand that we are fighting up against a system that was originally designed to exclude African Americans, and until our children are properly educated on who they are, they will never understand why we're still fighting. So in this season, we need to properly educate not just the youth, but even people that have not been familiarized with what this battle is all about. They need to look at and study Dr. Alexander and some of the things he fought for. He was even kicked off the steps of the Capitol because he was bold enough, and that's something I would even do. I'm just that bold enough. I mean, even if I have to stand alone, although I'm not alone, because I know it's the Spirit of God that is within thee that will protect thee. Like he said, go. Like he told Moses, and I guess he told Dr. Alexander the same thing. You go, and I'll put the words in your mouth that I have you to speak.
And I was kind of imagining, because Avery wasn't no little bit of man; he was a big man. Can you imagine a man that big? They got him by his heels, drag him, down
Dragged him.
drag him up the footstep, drag him out,
And it's
it's just
amazing.
mind boggling.
It's amazing, and what we need to understand is that in this system, it takes all of us to work together. It takes the African American community along with the Caucasian community, because this last presidential election just proved that without the support and participation of the African American communities, a lot of politicians that's non African American does not stand a chance. So they need us, and
Right.
Dr. Alexander paved the way to show us hope, to show us that if you just don't give up and you keep fighting for what you know to be right,
What you believe in.
you will overcome. And every obstacle, no matter how great the mountain, how tall the mountain may be, God will give you the strength to climb.
Yep, and he, I remember talking with him one time, and it's a story that I want to tell. And we got a minute before we take a break, so I'm gonna talk about that in the next half an hour about him and how courageous he were, and he never would compromise what he believed. Don't care who you are. His principle. He believing that God instilled that in him. And he was just a great man, and one thing I was telling a good friend of mine last night, him and we must have talked about 2 hours about what God had allowed us to experience, and we were talking about some of the people we knew, and like I know, our organization, Dr. Paz, who you don't know a lot about him, but the coalition, we had some great men that came to be our, like Dr. Ralph Abernathy.
Yes.
He was our keynote speaker one year. Avery Alexander. From I don't know if you know Mark Maria, father.
The
Dutch
League.
Maria.
Yes, and over the.
So we had some great people. That was been part of even Chief Justice Audrey Johnson. She was one I was speaking one year. So we done had some really great people that God have blessed us to be with, And I was telling the guy, man, I said, for a guy like me, don't have no degree or nothing behind my name, I said I was able to reach plateau that the other guys, they asked me what happened in the room. I was able to go in the room with some of the most promising people in this country. Even a couple of presidents I done had the pleasure, being in their company, being in the room with them. And God allowed us to do a lot of things. And people ask me, say, why you go there and do that show on Monday? Do you get paid to do it? No, I don't. But it's something I love to do because people call me and they say, well, man, I'm at work. I can't call in. I get women and say, but man, when I go home, I kick off my shoes, I get my food, and I take in, I get that link, I look at it on television. So if I just, the Bible say, in church they say, if I just help one somebody, my living not in vain. So I'm hoping that I am helping somebody. And that one somebody would help somebody, and that one somebody help somebody. So eventually the mess will get through. But now we're going to take another break, and we'll be back, and we're talking a little Black history today about a great African-American, a great man, the late, great Avery Alexander.
Yes.
So we take a break. We'll be right back.
Yes, those that want to make a comment, call 1-563.
Seems like everyone is running from the truth. Stand up and fight, walk into the light. We're the people, we can do it.
Hi, I'm Christine. Christine Penn. And Nola, I want you to get ready for an all-new talk experience, Women of Significance, on the New Orleans Talk Network. Each week, we're covering new topics, new guests, new trends, and message of the day with me, your host, Christine Penn. So Nola, tune in each week on the New Orleans Talk Network, where we use our voice with power, with purpose.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
Bethesda House of Prayer. Bethesda is a church for non-traditional worshipers, a church designed for those who love God's Word. Would you like to attend a church where believers and non-believers can choose to worship together? A church where cultural differences does not get in the way of God's message. We invite you to be our special guest. Our services begin 9 a.m. on Sunday, located at 7601 West Bank Expressway, Suite B, Marrero, Louisiana. For more information, contact us at 504-348-0132.
This program does not reflect the views and opinions of the New Orleans Talk Network. Viewer discretion is advised.
Kick it for me one time.
We are back. You are listening. You are watching Church Without Walls. I'm your host, Charles Stewart, and we have in the studio with us this morning no other than Sandrell Perlou from St. John Parish. She is the president of the NAACP. We thank God for her being in the studio with us this morning, and we having a great time. I feel, Dr. Perlou, when I'm talking about history, when I see something good happen, I get all fired up. That's a high for me.
Yes.
And I feel good. I'm like, I know when James Brown had sung It's a Man World with what they call paparazzi, whatever they call him. And when he got through, he was leaving the studio, they said, James, how did you feel? He said, I feel good. And they had thousands of people. I think they had over 30,000 people there. So he had to feel good to perform in front of those many people. But anyway, we have a caller on the line. Caller, go ahead on.
Hello, Mr. Stewart and Mrs. Madam President Perlou. How y'all doing today?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank y'all for having this conversation about Dr. Avery Alexander, great man from the state of Louisiana. Well, that was a historical picture online with him in 1963, getting hauled off, arrested, during the civil rights movement, arrested for, whatever he was arrested for that day and put into a paddy wagon, just like so many other African-American men back in 1963 during the civil rights movement. Rights were violated for demonstrating, peaceful protesting or whatever else they decide to lock them up for. Dr. Alexander definitely was a community servant to his community, great man. And I have a message for everybody out there. I wish he was still here to have conversations with African-American men today that don't believe in the process of voting and have a narrative about voting that it doesn't change anything or it doesn't do anything for our community. We have a great man that was an elected official and did a lot of great things for the community, dedicated his life to the community. I wish he was still here to have these conversations with young African-American men about that narrative of how voting doesn't improve our community, because if he was here, I'm sure he will have a strong debate with anyone who didn't believe in voting in our community, how important voting is in the African-American community to our community. But our community has people like Dr. Avery Alexander to Baton Rouge and other legislative positions, because we have a lack of voter turnout in our community, and it's consistent year in and year out. You know, with young African Americans and middle-aged African Americans, not enough of us are voting.
Right. And
it's because of men like him that dedicate their lives to the political process and believing in that. All the adversity they faced in 1963, for someone to still dedicate their life to the political process says a lot about the political African-American man. It says a lot about the political process in this country and how it can work for us if we just use strength in numbers philosophy. If we have 5,000 people that are eligible to vote in the African American community, but only 1,000 of them are going to the poll consistently, that's a fundamental problem. And I'm sure I can sit here and say that Dr. Alexandria would support that narrative. That's a fundamental issue with our community, is that enough of us are not consistently getting to the polls so that a man like him who's working hard for our community can fight because he has the support of the community at the polls.
Right.
And I'm sure if he was sitting here in this studio, he would agree with me. He will definitely dominate the conversation and pray that our community get involved in a political process. And I'm sure he will be an advocate in his afterlife for African Americans getting involved in the political process. So to all those African American males out there, females out there that continue to perpetuate that narrative that voting doesn't work, I wish you all were able to have a conversation with this man. Just a 20-minute conversation about how it could work and improve our communities. For all of those people who don't believe in the political process in this country, all the African Americans, and I just want to say that because I believe in the political process, and I know he did, and he dedicated his life to giving back to his community after being drugged and put in a paddy wagon and arrested and put in prison for what he believed in. And I wonder how many people are willing to go through that in 2021 for what they believe in. Literally, he could have been hung behind a prison cell somewhere, and his life could have came to an end a long time ago because of what he believed in. And I believe he was a very brave man, and I wish we had many, many more men like him in our community that had the type of heart he had for his community. And I believe that type of love and that type of act for our community can get our community in a better place. So that's my message to all of the people in Black History Month, that, you know, when it comes to a man like Dr. Alexandria, he would never let you stand in front of him and tell him voting doesn't work.
Carla, we appreciate that so much. We hope our listening audience heard what you're saying. You gave. The only thing I consider that they say in church, amen to what you're saying.
That's right.
It's true to the word what you said. So we hoping that the people yield to that and they take that in. So thank you so much, Carla.
Thank y'all very much. I appreciate it.
We got another caller on the line, but thank you again, Carla. Go ahead on, caller. Line 2.
Hello?
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 Hello, we can hear
Hello?
you. Can you hear us?
Yes, hi, good morning.
Good
My
morning.
name is Mary Henry. I live in St. John the Baptist Parish, and I'm kind of nervous. I can't say any more than what the caller before me said. I'd just like to thank him for everything that he said that I wanted to say.
Okay.
But I will say this. Chandrell Perilou, she may not be a man, and I know she's no Avery Alexander, but she's our Avery Alexander. Chandrell Perilou stands for the people. I don't care what they do to her, how hard it is. Chandrell Perilou is there anytime, day or night. I know this personally, and I thank God for Chandrell Perilou. I'm from New Orleans, and I moved to the River Parish some 20 odd years ago.
Okay.
And when I moved there, I'm like, oh my God, this place is so antiquated. But I thank God for Chandrell Perilou, our Avery Alexander. And the caller before, thank you for saying everything that I wanted to say, sir. Thank you guys for listening to me.
Okay, and you say you live in New Orleans.
No, I'm from New Orleans.
Oh, you're from New
but
Orleans.
I live in. I'm nervous. First time I've been on the radio.
Take your time, baby. We'll have a conversation. That's all.
Okay, I live in St. James Parish now. I lived in St. John up until 2 years ago.
Okay.
But I'm a member of the NAACP, and I emceed the award show the other night, which was beautiful.
Okay,
beautiful.
Great. I seen
Thank
you on.
You.
I seen you on Facebook, so I can connect the voice now, cause I can hear that good on Facebook, cause I was doing something at the time. But now I'm connecting your voice with the face that I seen.
Well, thank you, sir. Yes, sir. I was the MC for the first annual NAACP Image Awards on Friday night, and it was a beautiful, beautiful event. I only look forward to many, many more.
Okay,
and I really
great.
Thank God for Chandrell Perilou. I really and truly do.
Okay, great. I'm most sure the people out in St. John Parish will agree with you. Not everybody, but I'm most sure that people for justice.
Well, that's a topic for another time. Okay.
Okay.
And I appreciate your calling in. I just like to say I'm just humbled, because I come across sometimes a little strong, but I'm really a little teddy bear in the inside, and my heart is really for people, and that's what I know that the Creator have sent me here to do, is to be a voice for the voiceless. And I intend to do that, even if it costs me my life, because I know one thing. My life and my labor was not in vain, because to die in Christ is to gain. So as long as I'm fighting for the righteousness, I know that there is a place for me in the kingdom.
Right, dear. Thank you, Chandrell.
You're welcome.
And thank you, sir, for listening.
Okay, thank you for calling.
Okay, y'all have a great day.
You too.
Okay. Chandrell, that's always good encouragement when you have somebody call in and commend you, cause people these days, that we seem to fight against each other instead of working with each other.
The struggle is real, but God will always put people like He did with Dr. Alexander around him to see the heart, because a lot of people look at the outer appearance and they're quick to pass judgment without asking the Lord to give them a spirit of discernment, because had they had the discernment at the time when they were drugging Dr. Alexander, they would not have made that mistake. But we do know that all things work together for the good for them that are called according to the called. And he was truly a man called to be an advocate for the people. And I believe in this season that God has called and equipped me for a similar task. I mean, we all here for a reason and a purpose. And I just say that to all the listeners, that there is a lot of work out there that needs to be done. And until us as black people stick together, as the vision of Dr. Alexander is to bring his people together, we will never be able to excel. Black people, some of us have a tendency of wanting to hold back the other instead of lift up. Unlike some of the black people, I'm not one of those. I will give my last. I will sacrifice for those that are less fortunate, because I know that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all, and that's the test. We have to be givers. We have to be stewards over God's people, and most importantly, we have to and must have a clear heart and a clear conscience.
We have another call on the line. Do we have another call on?
Yes, it's very important for people to understand that Dr. Alexander was a great man.
Oh,
he influenced some of my motivation, and I'm just humbled to even be sitting on his platform to discuss his legacy, because he truly is worthy of the honor, because the Bible says, give honor where honor is due, and he deserves much honor.
Okay, with that, we're going to take our last break of the day. We have in the studio with us Andrea Perlou, president of the NWCP St. John Parish. We're going to take our last break, and we'll be back. You are listening to Church Without Walls.
Right.
You better think about it or you won't be around. It's a little bit of love sent by one from heaven up above. Take it from T, it's simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
Hi, I'm Prophetess Charlene Duforce.
And I'm Bishop Carol Dufour Sr.
And we're from Living Witnesses Ministries.
And we also have a program on the internet called Living by the Word Daily. And we're seen every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time on the New Orleans Talk Network.
And we would like to invite you to tune in with us every Wednesday morning. Again, 11 to 12 noon Central Daylight Time. Please join us as we teach the Word of God. Thank you, and God bless.
God bless you.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
This program does not reflect the views and opinions of the New Orleans Talk Network. Viewer discretion is advised.
We are back. We are in the studios of the New Orleans Talk Network. I'm your host, Charles Stewart, Church Without Walls, and we honored for our special guest again, Sandra Perlou. We're so happy to have her here, and she is a very special lady. And Dr. Perlou, when I just like to kind of sum this up today by expressing my feeling about Avery, what I feel that he was advocating all his life. Like, I know in some meeting that I attend that he was speaking, he would always emphasize he would love to see the black man, the African American, step up and be a man. When you say that, step up and be a man, a lot of people don't know. And it kind of coordinates like to say, people say, well, why do they have a whole month Black History? And I would like, Dr. Perlou, for the black man to step up and take the advantage of that. And because I believe guys like Avery and Dr. Kane, all them great men, they wanted the black man to step up and be proud of his history. You take like, when integration came, Dr. Perlou, many African Americans was able to leave, say, the South and go up north. They were able to get better jobs. And they got there and made money, but for some reason they wasn't taught to send their money back home to their family, to take care of their family. They wasn't taught that, so when they got up there and they were able to drink, do what they want to do, and they felt free, they forgot about home. But this is my opinion, I think the white Caucasian took advantage of that. He wasn't taken care of, so he left the grandmother and the wife, the grandparents and the wife had to take care of those kids. When this guy, who he went to New York, Chicago, a lot of them went. I know a lot of my family went to Chicago. They did not send their money back home to take care of their family.
Wow.
So it left the family struggling. And I think that doesn't have affect the whole year. That's something I believe because if you know Dr. Palu right now, I invite anybody to go to Walmart, any Ace check cashing place, any place that you got a Western Union, you can see those Mexicans, the Brazilians, they go in there, cash their check, what they doing.
Sending it back home.
Send it back up. They had something to go back home to. When they leave America, say in America, I think with a peso,
almost double there.
Double, yeah. So when they go back home, they got something to go back home for.
Right, and we need our black men.
But we didn't do that. For some reason, I understand that in Plaquemine Parish, I heard of a family that those black men did send their money back home.
That was the right thing to do.
Yeah, so they had something to come home. They know when I come back home to my wife and family, a black woman know how to squeeze a dollar. She know how to manage a dollar.
And any man know that in order to please their woman, they got to provide for us. And I mean, I can only imagine the hell he had to face if he wasn't sending home that money to take care and provide for their family, unless he was providing for another family.
Right.
But
but that education wasn't taught to us. And to me, I would go to a meeting, I would sit back, I would listen, I would watch. And I always ask God interpret it, to me, what these guys fighting. But, on the other hand, God always also put in our mind a little spirit, what he want to think. And this is what I think that in the African American community, we haven't been taught our culture. Like if you go on Saturday evening on Power Boulevard in Esplanade, they got a church there. I think it maybe it's a foreign church. I don't know the name of it. But it'll be packed there with nothing but young kids, teaching them that culture. If you go 5 blocks from here, you see the same thing over Westwood. They teach them, but African American, we don't teach our young kids about the AV.
And the Bible says train up a child when they're young. When they get old, they won't depart. And that's what it's all about, training our youth, building a stronger youth so that we can build a stronger and a bigger and better Black Wall Street. It's about Black entrepreneurship, Black networking. It's about enhancing our Black community, which was one of the visions of Dr. Avery Alexander. He loved his Black families, his Black community. And I'm just asking that you all will take heed to the message and the example that Dr. Avery Alexander have set in place for us.
Right. And we're going to have to end this show, but I'm more than sure this subject will come back up again. We'll do another show on it. So I'm honored to have you in the studio, and I think that, I want the audience to know that you're going to be back with us many of time. We want to have you.
Real talk. We need to really educate the people, empower and inspire them. And I am humbled and very appreciative for you all inviting me back on the show. And I look forward to great things ahead.
Okay. Well, we want the audience to know all across Jefferson Parish, St. John, St. Charles, all the parishes to know that Dr. Palu going to be a part of our studio. And we want many great minds, many people the main thing, I'm looking for people who love people.
I love people
who
with all
want
my
to share
heart.
their wealth. And it costs, anytime you're a leader, and I know, Palu, you're going to find that out, that anytime you're a leader, it costs.
A great price.
Costs you time, you have to spend your own money when people don't realize it. That when you go somewhere, you got to pay the park, sometimes you got to treat people to dinner, like you go out, meet with some people to solve their problem, and you treat them to lunch, and when they bring the tab, when they wait to bring the tab, when they start to go in the bathroom on you.
Yes. The struggle is real, but God is able to provide, and I thank God for the NAACP, their support, especially our officers and members. I just ask that y'all will continue to stay tuned. Great things ahead, great changes ahead.
Okay, until next week at this time, we ask you to tell your neighbor, tell your friend. Church Without Walls is on the air every Monday morning, 11 to 12 Central Standard Time. And you make sure you have yourself a great week, and may God bless you and keep you and bless you in everything that you do. And remember, it's no such thing as being half dead. If you dead, you what? You dead.
That's the bed
See y'all next week. Have a great time.